I will appreciate us to give them the desired attention and hope that it will be better than the other day. So on this note, I welcome everybody and appreciate you for always being there whenever we invite you for this such important meeting. So over to you, Vivian and Francis. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Good morning, colleagues. So we'll just move quickly to the next item on the agenda, which is the optimized SORMAS aggregate reporting, which I will be presenting. Okay, so for starters, was aggregate reporting. As we're all aware, aggregate reporting is a summary of disease data collected mostly at the health facility. We already know that aggregate reporting can be weekly or monthly, but on SORMAS, we report our weekly diseases, which is using our IDSR 002. Some of these diseases that are reported, suspected, confirmed, and then deaths. And like I earlier mentioned, this is on a weekly basis. So for the objectives of why it was important to optimize this aggregate reporting on the optimized SORMAS version, overall is to improve data completeness using our compulsory field entry for key variables, enhancing timeliness of data. This reduces report delays. So at the LGA or the state level, you're able to see facilities that reported late or facilities that reported early or facilities that are not even reporting at all. And also reduce reporting errors used by our data validation on the optimized SORMAS. And overall, this strengthens our outbreak monitoring by improving our detection capacities and supports our national surveillance systems. So the key components of the aggregate reporting is the reporting unit is from the health facilities or LGA, the reporting period, which is weekly, like I earlier mentioned, the disease indicators, which is the disease that you're reporting based on standardized case definitions, the data validation earlier mentioned for data completeness and timeliness and reducing of data errors, and as well as analysis tools to visualize the data that we report, be it on a daily or weekly basis. Mr. Francis will take us in depth on that in the next session. So the aggregate reporting workflow starts from the health facilities. Data is being collated on a weekly basis based on the IDSR weekly reportable diseases, which we'll see. I'm sure we're already familiar with the list, but we'll just see a slide that shows that list. And then entered into SORMAS. The data is being validated and checked for completeness and accuracy and timeliness at the LGA and at the state level. So a few benefits of optimizing these aggregate reports: faster outbreak detection. And so because we're able to track timeliness, we're able to follow up quickly with the health facilities, and this helps to identify or detect an outbreak before it starts. This also helps us to prepare better for this outbreak, to be able to contain it before it spreads, and also improves resource allocation. And overall, the overall goal or the overall aim of all of this is to enhance our surveillance system, make it robust, and make it timely for response to outbreak and curtail outbreaks. So this is the list of the IDSR weekly reportable diseases earlier mentioned. I'm sure we're all used to MSARS, which is what we used to use. But right now on the optimized version, what's there is aggregate model. So the MSARS model is not there. What you would see on the optimized SORMAS version is aggregate. We'll see that when we do the live demo. So these are the 11 weekly reportable diseases. So in conclusion, aggregate reporting is pretty much straightforward. So optimized SORMAS aggregate reporting strengthens disease surveillance and supports effective outbreak response for public health decision making. So this optimized version of of SORMAS will help transform the data collected at the health facility and ensure that it is being transcribed into public health action. And this will overall improve our surveillance system and ensure that we respond faster to disease outbreak, allocate our resources better, and have evidence-based interventions to protect the population from infectious disease threats. So for you to be able to access the aggregate model on SORMAS, the usual, you have to log into the optimized SORMAS version using your username and password. Then you select aggregates from the home page menu. And then on the right top, you can now click on aggregate reports. So you can either go for the health facility or LG. Usually, health facility, if you based on your access, if you have a health facility access, what would show is your health facility. If you have LG access, if you're an LG DSN or assistant LG DSN, what you would see in your own view is the LGA aggregate reporting access. Then you can proceed to fill the fields as required and click on submit. Please kindly ensure that you cross-check all your inputs or your data before you eventually submit and save. And this is because you cannot edit once you have reported. But we do know that we are human beings, and so some of these mistakes can be made. So if in very rare, we don't expect that to be a common occurrence, but if in very rare occasions a mistake is being made, please reach out to your state liaison officers to help resolve and then either delete or edit the case. So we'll move over to the short demo. I'll just stop sharing my screen and then share my browser. Okay. Please, can you confirm you can see my screen? Anyone?
Yes, you can see your screen, Vivian.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, so like we always emphasize, is the staging server. However, if you log into SORMAS and you're using the staging server, you will always see this notification showing you as the staging instance. So I've logged in using my username and password, and this is the home page. So you just navigate to the module that says aggregate. Click on it. So like I already mentioned, if you are a health facility focal person that logs in, this is what you will see: facility weekly reports. If you're at the LGA level, you will not see facility weekly report. What you will see is LGA weekly report. So I can only I have this to access because I'm an admin. So at the health facility, you now navigate to new aggregate reports on the top right corner of your screen. So when you click on that, based on the epi weeks, could be last week or this week. Last week was epi week 10, and this week is epi week 11. So let's assume we're reporting for epi week 11. So you can just click on the state, and then the list of the health facilities will be displayed. Click on the health facility and click on done. You get this pop-up that asks you if you are sure. You click yes. So if you discard, it will not save, it will discard all the information you had previously imputed. So when you are done with this, a list of the weekly reportable diseases will show. And then you can select the disease you want to report. Let's assume it's malaria. You see this red this is not a red pen, sorry. You see this blue pen or something that looks like a pen. Basically, under edit, you click on edit, and then you see that you have the different classifications: suspected, confirmed, deaths, and this is for malaria. And based on the age groups, so let's assume we have those between 12 to, I'll just feel randomly, just for us to have an overview. And then when you're done with the suspected, so when you're done with suspected, you go over to confirmed, and then for death, let's assume it was a very good week, there was no death, and done. Remember, once you click on this card, every other data that you had imputed will be wiped out. So you click on done, yes. Yeah, so you see malaria entry saved successfully. There are other diseases as well. You can also, maybe HIV, you can also fill again randomly. One. So yeah, you can just keep imputing or reporting based on the diseases you would like to report. And so the moment you click on done, all the entries are saved. You see this notification that comes up, HIV entries saved successfully. Yeah, and then when you are done, you can go back with this back feature. Yeah. So if you also want to filter, you can use your filter options here by the state, LG, the facility, the epi week, the epi year, and then you apply your filter or you reset your filters if you want to change your filters. So for the LGE, you can indicate the state. What state can you use? This is for this current week. And so as an LGDS, you can see how many health facilities reported timely, how many reported late, and how many did not report at all. So for this current EP week, there have been no reports from Akwa Ibom, Eastern Ubulu. That's what this means. There have been no reports. But by the way, this is a staging server, so that's expected. But that's what this means. From here, then you can now start following up with the health facilities to know if this is a zero reporting, what the issue is. So this is why we said the optimized SORMAS will help with timeliness of reports. Then when you are done, of course, you could always use the back feature. And yes, you can also use the apply filter to search for a particular weekly report. Okay, so I think this is about it for aggregate reporting. I'll leave the floor open for questions. By the way, the sales server is always open for us to continue practicing. And there's also a WhatsApp group that we could always reach out, either through the state liaison officers or reach out to us if there are any issues encountered when practicing. Okay, so other questions, reactions? Stop
All right,
sharing my
thank you.
screen.
Thank you, Vivian, for that. If you have any question, please drop in the chat box. We have the Q&A team that is collecting our questions and comments, which they will have a session at the end to project what our comments are and address all the questions. So let's take advantage of the chat box to drop in our comments, our questions, so that we can move to the next presentation. I'll be sharing my screen so that we can move to the next presentation. Please confirm that you can see my screen. Okay, so we'll be moving to the next presentation by Francis, which is the download manager. Francis, you have the floor. Francis, are you on the call? Can you hear me?
Asking that you unmute him. I think the host needs to unmute him.
Okay, so probably he logged out. It was me the co-host before. So then please kindly make Francis a co-host so that he can
All right. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Nice to meet you all. We'll be running through the optimized SORMAS download manager. So, in a quick, can you hear me, please? Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Can you
Francis,
hear me?
you can go ahead. We are hearing you, Francis.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. So, I will quickly run through the SORMAS download manager. So, as we all know, this download manager is a very powerful tool which we use to export our data set. On the previous platform, how we had on SORMAS, we have the download manager embedded in the platform, but now we are having it as a data export module. Now, this download manager is very, very important. It's a very powerful tool whereby we can use to extract our data set after entry, and it supports critical analysis we use for after our extraction, used for our research activities, and also making other epidemiological decisions, and also to inform policies. Now, and they use for which to need all this export data for outbreak investigation and also for disease monitoring. Next slide, please. So why is the purpose? Why do we need the download manager? The download manager is very important because we want to have it as a point to also monitor the kind of data we input into our system. To optimize the download manager, we have some tangible improvements which we improve our public health programs, such as one, accelerate data extraction for speed, time-sensitive analysis, whereby we can quickly have hands-on the data set and do some quick analysis, and also reduce server load on and improve the system performance. So we can have a way of having our own way of keeping our own data backup within our various systems at the state level, those who have access to the download manager, and also efficient handling of large data set download. So this download manager is capable of downloading large data sets, whereby it makes it very easy for us to download large data set compared to what we had before now, and also enhance data availability and epidemiological investigations. We need this download tool to make sure that the data we extract makes it more easy and also very reliable for us to carry out our investigations. Next slide, please. So what are the key features of this download manager? We have it for the scheduled downloads, whereby we can have automated extraction from our basic CIF, which is one of the major tools we had for the optimization process, whereby we have our specific CIF, we can automate and download extract at optimal times. On data set filtering, we have a way we can have a multiple set download on different filters on data set, whereby we can extract only relevant data we need with a prescribed criteria. We have secure data access, whereby every user data rules are being mentioned, whereby if only those who have access to download manager to download it. Remember, this is not just building an app, but building a system within our workspace to enhance our activity. Then automated export to generate report manually, and also to generate report without manual interventions. Now, what does this simply mean? We can have a way to automate our CIF by disease, and also generate the specific report we have. Having those the key filters being automated on the platform, then we can easily download our data set. The background processes will continue to work on the data to extract more information of what variables we might be looking at. Next slide, please. So the common data extract, we have different data sets we can extract from the download manager. First of all, we have the case-based data, which are the major demographics or data we're looking at, to clinical data and also exposure information where we can easily have access to download. We have our laboratory reports, laboratory results, such as specimen details, pathogen, and all this kind of type of tests being done. We have the contact tracing record. We have the event surveillance data, and also the just aggregate data report, whereby we talked about the summary statistics, incidence rates, and also epidemiology trend. We can quickly have our hands on that and download those data sets from the platform. Next slide, please. So the optimized download strategy. What are the key features we have on this point? As you can see from the left-hand side of the screen, which is the landing page of the download manager, we are of the case export. We have it to export applying our filters, which is one of the key features we have on the platform, whereby we can limit the data set we download by range, demographic area, disease type, and also date. Then we have to schedule wisely how we can run large data set off-peak hours and reduce the system impact in terms of the way we download our data, and also use compression, by select different format size, and also the transfer time of which we can extract the data set, and also automatic pipeline. I talked about we having not just downloading at random, but looking at the specific variables we look at. So each CIF, we can click on the platform to download a particular CIF we want to download. It could be cholera, it could be Lassa fever, or yellow fever, or any other disease we want to download. Next slide, please. So what are the benefits of this download manager? The benefit of download manager is equal to the data set we imputed, and also the functions of what we are looking at for. To accelerate epidemiological analysis, such as rapid access to enable faster identification and disease pattern and transmission chain. We also look at enhanced outbreak investigation. We need our data to just to see how we can impute it with other analysis systems, such as R, to do a quick data analysis for us, and also to support our immediate response activities, improve our surveillance reporting, such as automated report generation, and also ensure timely submission as required notification. We have better decision making, such as real-time data availability and support on public health interventions. So this our data set is where entered. We have the assurance that our data extraction and also the data being downloaded is going to be functional and useful to us. Next slide. So the uses of the download manager, we have different functions of which we can use the download manager for. First of all, we have the weekly WER, the weekly epidemiological report, to see how we can download those data and also automate extraction for the case laboratory data and all that for disease bulletin. We have it for our outbreak situation reports, which is one of the routine things we use our data for, and also data quality audit. This is one of the very points we need to look at too. In as much as the state has access to a download manager, we notice as this platform now, we have a download audit back end. Once we download the data, we can pinpoint who have that data set, not just anybody having the part to just download data. We should download the data, and we know that we have our export being tagged to the download person. Then we have it for the research and modeling, which is the new skills now coming into what we do in public health, which is modeling, lastly, data set extraction for epidemiological studies, and also transmission models and intervention evaluation. So these are major keys. This is why we can use our download manager for public health interventions. The best practice we look at to see how that these download managers work properly is for us to establish clear parameters and establish standardized extraction criteria align with the surveillance objective and also the purpose of we using those variables or why we need to download that data set. We need to understand the maintenance security and enforce rule-based access control and encryption of data transfer to protect sensitive health information. This is one of the very major key data security, which we need to be very conscious of. Then validation regulation, verify the data completeness and accuracy through automated checks and also manual review. So these are points you'll be looking at in the next few minutes when we go into hands-on on the platform. And also we provide training. Yes, the download manager, just the way you have it as SORMAS in all, it's not just a one-off thing. We keep building it to make sure that it comes to the optimized purpose where we need to have the download manager and how we can quickly use that to provide training for the state people. If you're having any issues from now, you can quickly complain because SORMAS is still something we build regularly to see that it comes out live. Next slide, please. What are the conclusions? This optimized download manager is one of the major things we have. It was the last part because this is the last point we have in terms of data extraction. And if you agree with me, when you enter our data, we talk about various modules on SORMAS platform, such as the case module, the aggregate module, the sample module, the persons module, the tax management module. We have all that, but at the end of the day, what we are really looking at, we're looking at to see how we can get our data. So by implementing this strategy, to see that we have our download manager up and running is a very functional best practice for us, and also to help our public health in on programs and also their values to surveillance data and respond more to effectively to disease threat. So in a last word, this is our download manager. We all know that this is not just an app we're building, but building a system. So we limit the download manager to not just to the national, but the state people to have access to. So if you are, it depends on the kind of role you play now and also using on the SORMAS system, then you can have access to a download manager. So this is just a landing page of what we have on the download manager. As you all know, the download manager is your user entry, just the way we have it previously. You can see enter the download manager through this URL, through the same SORMAS app. Then you move the major menu for download manager is the data export. So when you go in, you can see some variables you want to extract. You click that by filter and prompt the download. So will I quickly move on to the hands-on part? Then we can look at what a short demo of what the download manager is all about. So permit me to
share your screen. You can share your screen.
All right. Can you see my screen now?
Still coming up. Yeah, it's up now.
All right. So thank you very much, Steven. So this is the welcome page of the download of the staging server for the download manager. As you can see, I have to input my unique username and password. So let me do that. So this is it. Sorry, I have some little security on my system. So I log into the page. Sorry, you might see this section in terms of even in other platform usage. This simply telling you that it's just like a time logging out of the system. So when I click on continue, it takes me back to the page. So when you see this section on the platform, you should not be worried. So as you can see, this is my landing page for SORMAS, and it's telling me, giving me what I want. So as you can see, I moved straight to the download export, which has the logo for the database. This logo is, when you see this logo anywhere, you know that it's telling you about the database. So I go to the menu of the data export. It takes me to a landing page. So in this comprehensive landing page, we have different sections. One, this is the case export, whereby I want to extract my data set. First of all, you can see that we have various diseases, which has a drop down. I can scroll any of the diseases I want to. The second is the case classification. I want to look at the case classification. It says suspected case, probable case, and epidemic compatible case, depending on the kind of disease you are looking at for. So this section talks about the different diseases. All the disease variables we are looking at for are all here. Then we look at the state. The beauty of this, what we have now, we have, or we can do as a national user. These are one of the challenges we look at. To sometimes we download previously to download a particular state and a different state, then we begin to match the data set together. But on this enhanced platform, has a way that we can do a multiple select. For example, I want to select both states in Abia, to pick the Abia state for me. If I want to pick Adamawa, it picks Adamawa for me. You can see it be selected. And I go to the particular LG I want and it goes specific to the data set. So the state level, for example, I am using Bauchi. And I try to click select Bauchi alone. It picks the Bauchi, it gives me the corresponding LGA for Bauchi. As you can see, these are the LGAs for Bauchi. If I'm looking out for a particular disease in, let's say in artillery, and also for Bauchi, I can just select those two. I look at the pattern of disease I look at for. I can pick, let me see, not just to say, let me just pick Lassa fever. We're in a big period now. I can pick the Lassa fever. Remember, this is a staging server, so I'm not just being specific to Bauchi here, but this is just a staging server. So I can pick the variables I look at for. Then I can now move out to the different modules in terms of the categories of the download system variables I'm looking at for. So we have about 8 modules. About 8 modules. You can see them one, the case, the person, the symptom, the health condition, the hospitalization, the epidemiological data, the vaccination history, and also the sample. So this sample, you agree with me, this is the laboratory section we're looking at. So when I go to the case section, I have 2 options. One, I can just quickly select all. You can see when I select all, it selects all the variables for me. I can just decide to select all. You can see I can still go back. So this applies to all the other sections. So if I want to be specific, I just click on the variables I look at for on each of these sections I want to. So I can randomly pick if I want my EPID number, I want my date of investigation, date of report, I want the disease itself to come out. Then I can just look at the pick the first name, the last name, and I decide to select all, right? I might try to select all of the variables I'm looking for. So this is a customized way that we can have access to our data set. Then when I'm done on this platform, I just quickly select apply. Once I select apply, if you watch me see, if you look at the screen, it has currently extracted data. So let's look at the data back end. And what is the file format which data set comes out? So you can see this is the dummy data. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we
Hello,
can see your screen.
Can you see the Excel screen?
No, I think you shared only your...
Okay, let me share the entire screen so that you can see everything. Okay, so this is just like a extract. So you can see it picks the variables. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, it's up now.
Okay, so this is the extract. You can see back end. It has picked the variables I want. It's very limited because of the selection I want. So this is just the session of the download manager. As you can see, if I pick multiple disease, I cannot have a way of picking multiple disease yet, but not lump data. We don't have that access of picking multiple disease, because when we try to pick multiple diseases, we might complicate issues within the system. So we don't have that functionality of picking multiple diseases on the system, because we might complicate data extraction. As you can see, this is the major part. So we are looking at more functions to see how that the CI for each of the disease we have it being customized, but I believe that will come up. If you bear with me, that in the past 3 days we are having some little bugs on this, and that's why this meeting was delayed from Monday to date. Please just bear with us, and I will look at to see that as this session begins to go on, the data extract is going to be very unique and also very functional. That when we're using it, use the download manager, we are going to enjoy it so much and make sure that it functions very well. So I would like to move on to the question aspect. Then we can ask questions, and also so for more clarification of things that maybe I have not highlighted out, you can bring it to my notice. Then we can now discuss that in details. Thank you very
All
much.
right. Thank you so much, Francis. You can stop sharing your screen. We are moving straight to the question and answer session, and I'll call on Mr. Seiki to lead the Q&A session. You have the floor, sir. I will stop sharing so that you can share your screen. Over to you,
thank
Mr.
you.
Seiki.
Yeah, thank you, Sylvie, and Vivian, as well as Francis. Good morning, colleagues. I have Tosin and Amina that will be presenting to us the questions that we have from both engagements, the Zoom and YouTube, if you have any. So I will quickly call on Amina, if she can hear me. Do we have any questions from the Zoom? Hello, Amina, can you hear us? I hope she's able to unmute. Okay. So, Amina, can you hear us now? You've been made co-host.
Okay, so yes, I can. Yes, I can. Good morning, sir.
Okay, good morning. Please go ahead. Do we have questions from the Zoom? Uh-oh. It does seem like your network is kind of slow. Sorry, Amina, we can't hear you. You may want to move from where you are now, Amina. So let's take on Tosin. Tosin, do we have a question from YouTube? Okay, I'll quickly read while they're trying to come up. I'll quickly read the questions that were asked.
All right, good morning, everyone. No, there's no questions currently from YouTube.
Okay. Amina is not able to connect, so I'll just pick on the questions we have here. The first is I'll quickly read while they're trying to come up. Okay, I don't know if it's from Tosi. I think your system is echoing. So it says, I want more lecture on how to update lab results on SORMAS. Although this wasn't part of today's session, Stephen, can we take on this?
Okay. Can we take the question again, please? I had some challenges.
Okay, the question says, it is actually a request that he or she wants more lecture on how to update lab results on SORMAS.
Okay, on that.
Mota? Hello.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Ashi.
Can you hear me? We are asking question on what was presented today. Those issues on lab update and everything, we agree that there will be meeting with the state. So the person asking the question should be patient enough. We are asking question on the presentation for today. Let us not begin to change the goalpost, please. These things should be addressed. And I don't want this approach where some people want to insist on something when we have a process for it. Please, we should respect the protocol and then make sure we are held to instruction. There will be a meeting, the state will decide what to do, and we are not talking for the state. So let us wait when the time reaches, the lab colleagues will join. That meeting will not just be a meeting between us, the surveillance officer, the lab colleagues will be there. Even the people from Gadua, the ND and NCDC will join. Such question, they will be the one that will answer. Ours is to ensure that the system is working, and we will make sure that the right people do what they are expected to do. If there are need for support, we will know how that will be taken forward. But we are not going to give an answer, we will not 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 give an answer, we to what is not even in our own custody. We don't have authority over it. So please,
All right,
questions should be
that's
based on
okay.
your presentation. Thank you.
Yeah. So I want to believe the person that asked this question has gotten that. We're not sure if he was there when the first instruction was given. So the second question here is it possible to get a soft copy of the trading manual? Okay. This is about the presentation. The person is asking if it will be shared. So a quick response to that, Stephen.
Concerning that, can you hear me? So concerning that, we'll share the slides, the soft copy of the slides. Once we collate after the meeting, we'll share that. We'll share the one on two already. So we'll share the 3 also. So thank you.
Okay. All right. Thanks. There's this question for Vivian that she mentioned on weekly reportable case. That does it mean we can't report questions? I guess this person meant we can't send a report on real time. That is, as we are seeing the patient in the clinic. Well, I don't know if this person understands how the weekly aggregate report works. Vivian, do you want to give some clarity on this?
Okay. So I think that was Jane. Okay, so Jane, weekly reporting is an aggregate report. So what aggregate means is you count. So if you saw a case maybe today, and then you're supposed to maybe send your report, I think every Tuesday of the next week, you are supposed to count how many you saw for that whole week. So you're not reporting as you are seeing the case. That is case-based reporting. That is for immediate reportable diseases. But for weekly reports is an aggregate. So you count for the entire week and then you report on SORMAS based on the disease. I hope this is clear enough.
Vivian, let me add a voice to that to also support what you said. So it is for IDSR, which is our manual or guide for surveillance. We have diseases that are reported immediately, which are 25, right? We have diseases that are reported weekly, which are 11, and we have diseases that are reported monthly. So it's just to take note of those diseases and then report accordingly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm not sure we have any other questions here, and we do not have any hands up right now.
We have hands up, sir. We have hands up, sir.
Okay.
We have about 3-4 hands up.
Okay. The first hand here is Faith Tosin. Please go ahead with your question or comment, except you're resigning.
Apologies, that was an earlier hand to indicate that I should be muted.
Okay, then we'll quickly take Martin. Good morning.
Thank you, Mr. Saike, and thanks to the team. My name is Oluwole Matthew from Ondo State. I'm the SDKM focal person.
Okay.
So can I go ahead?
Please go ahead. Good morning, Matthew.
Okay, I'm the SDKM focal person. I want to appreciate NCDC for this opportunity. So I have 2 questions majorly. One is on the case-based reporting that Francis actually presented. And in that slide, he actually presented something on case-based and lab results. So I want to know if at the end of probably the DSNO or whoever has actually will be reporting on SORMAS, are we going to have a situation whereby one will synchronize into another, especially the lab results synchronizing into the case base that has actually been entered? That is number 1. The second question is on the data. I think the data manager that he actually presented as well. So like the previous, sorry, download manager. Thank you. So the other one that we have previously, we do have a period like for SDKM now. We normally do data validation, which we need to download for like a month to see what has gone into SORMAS, to see the data quality and all the likes. But my question now is this: since I'm not seeing that features here, that if I want to download within a month, how do I filter to download? That is number one. Second question, he actually said that we don't have opportunity to have more options for those diseases, except we are picking one disease per at a time. So I still want to ask if there is a room for us to still add multiple diseases so that it will make the work more seamless. Thank you. Over.
Okay, thank you, Matthew. You have 3 questions. The first being the synchronization of case-based data and is it aggregate? I bet you may still need some clarification for you to understand how both works. I'll leave that to Steve to carry on.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. So concerning your first question on case-based and lab results. So once the DSNO or the Health Facility Focal Person is filling in the data, the suspected case information on SORMAS, they're expected to also fill the lab information like sample collection, the time, the date, and all of that, and they send the sample to the lab. Once the result comes out from the lab updates the result on SORMAS, right? If either it's positive or negative, and SORMAS picks it up for any alert that needs to be notified, right? So once you are downloading at the downloading data exports place for Download Manager, what you are doing is you are selecting the variables that you want and you are downloading them, right? So there are different variables that you can pick. You can pick from the case, you can pick from the lab, you can pick from the contact, depending on what you are interested in, which you download, right? So that's how it works. I hope that answers your question. Your second question on being able to download through the month. Yes.
The option of having periods.
Period, yes, having the option of period. So Francis might want to say 1 or 2 on that, but I would also reach out with the team to see if that can be added. But currently, that period is not on the filter.
Yeah. Okay, please, let's quickly take Francis if he wants to add to this.
All right, thank you very much, Stephen. Yes, thank you very much for Oluwale from Matthew from Mundo. Yes, that functionality you talked about is also, what we're working on now. We are on the staging server. So when we move down to the live server, you'll find that the filter will be added on the platform. So that apologies on that was not being captured on the download manager for the staging server, but it's on the live server. So that is noted. Thank you very much. When you log into your system, you'll see that functionality. So that was noted, but it's just an oversight for the staging server.
Okay.
Thank you, and over.
All right. Well, I don't know if you want to take the last one. I think that was a request. If it's still in the pipeline for the opportunity to be able to download data for multiple diseases, if it's still in the pipeline, he just wants to know. But I think, yeah, go ahead.
All right, sir. Yes, in the aspect of looking at downloading a multiple disease, I think we have a way of having every disease stand on its own so that we might not begin to miss some variables, because if you look at these diseases, we have some cross-cutting variables such as epi numbers and all that. So we might really not want to miss the multiple disease download. So we'll have it specific that you can download each particular disease at the same time as a point, but not missing having you selecting multiple These are human beings working at the system. Mistakes can happen. And once a mistake goes on, and we populate our data and we publish, we might be presenting the wrong issues whereby we might be missing 2 or more diseases. So that functionality, I don't think that will be possible, but we'll have it out downloading it at each particular disease, because each particular disease are different entities standing on their own. So that's our observation of that. We put that into consideration when we are having that conversation with the multiple states on download that for the national, and also multiple LGA download for the state level too. So that's just correction on that. Thank you, and over.
Okay.
All right, thank you,
maybe,
Francis. Okay, Mr.
yeah, just maybe to add my voice to say that the challenge we've been having with the download manager, even using the former generic CI, with the fact that it's pulling even empty space that are not expected to be there. So one of the things we have achieved with this one is that we say it is disease specific. It means that the variable have to be specific to that disease you are looking for. So making multiple choice may really lead to some of those confusion that we want to have avoid. But the easiest thing is that the download time will be less than a minute. So if you want to download even as more disease as you want, you can do that within some few seconds, and your problem will be solved. It's very important that you don't select 2 diseases at the same time and you are selecting the variable. You know, at times it may be confusing. And it will be. So I think it's easier for us to do that. If need be, we can see what we can do. But the essence is to make this thing friendly, specific, so that we can address issue and have a better data quality. Remember, one of the essence of the SORMAS optimization is to improve the quality of our data. And that is one of the way we want to address it. For the lab result, if the lab update the result, yes. If the result is updated from the lab, it will automatically be updated on SORMAS, because that is one of the key attributes of why the lab are also on SORMAS. So that as soon as they get this result, they will be going back, because this the DSN or whoever is sending the sample must have also put in those information on SORMAS. So the lab person will go back to the SORMAS and look for that case. And when he say that result is positive, the person that have sent that sample will also be able to see it. We are also at the virtue of even linking SORMAS with LIM, which is the Laboratory Information Management System, that also give update of what we do. Because one of the process we have also discovered is that at times, some sample get to lab, even without being entered or anyhow find their way in the lab. So we are also trying to see how we can pick those information from the laboratory information and even bring it on SORMAS so that we don't miss cases. Don't forget, Sovland is looking out for what is happening, irrespective of wherever it is coming from. And as long as it will add value to what we do, we will try to do that. So that process of the lab and the Sovland system, I think it will be a seamless process. One, if the lab updated, is going to work. And that's why we will also engage the state to see those labs that are within the state that are not even on our network, that we don't have person who is a person to do that result when they have it in the state. And then if that means that there will be need for support, then we can look for support even within the state who support them. But it has to be an agreed, and that the state and the lab folks are also aware, and they have consented some of those support to those people that will do for them. So I want to believe that this system is made to ensure that everybody has what to do and know what to do, because it will be a rule-based play, so that we don't override, and then at the end of the day, we'll be tracking to see who did this, because we want to be sure that everybody takes ownership and responsibility for that rule that he has been assigned for that particular person to support the system. So that will be all from my end. Thank you, and over to you, Musa.
Thank you, Mr. Eshi, for that clarity. I think one generic thing here is for us to understand, particularly for what has happened in terms of optimization, is the fact that we now have specific CIF for each of the diseases, and for each disease, there are unique variables to them. So mixing them up in terms of how we map them may create some issues. I think at this point we'll call on Oga Martin to ask his questions or provide comments on what has been discussed. Mr. Martins?
Thank you. Finally, my hands has been paining me.
Sorry.
All right. So, good morning, colleagues. I just wanted to chip in one or two things. I think the conversations has been largely very okay. I enjoyed the presentations as well as the questions. It shows that we are actually following. I would want to make some few comments in addition to what has been made, and also to make one or two recommendations in respect to some questions that were asked and we are not yet attended to. So Yashe also tried to react to them. So I think my first comment would be for the weekly reporting. I think it's also an opportunity to remind our DSNOs, both state and LGA level, to understand that for you to aggregate what to enter, it means that you need to aggregate it somewhere before you start keying what you consider as your aggregate for those particular diseases within the week. So that is why we are also that I know there was an Excel tool we developed which helps you to summarize, because what you're supposed to enter there is when you've taken from all your facilities, you enter for LGA, and it will help you. So I'm just trying to let us know you are not supposed to, except for direct health facilities. So we are supposed to enter summations of what is happening in our LGA for that particular week. Again, when we are summarizing, please let's remember our happy week. Because if you look at what was presented, it takes cognizance of the happy week. So you need to be conscious of when your happy week starts and when your happy week ends, so that you know that you're putting in the correct information into SORMAS. And the second is with respect to the question regarding lab. I think, Yashe, I would like to appeal that we take another session for lab colleagues separately. You know, the whole aim is for lab colleagues to enter the results directly by themselves in terms of enhancing in data integrity. So somebody different is really not supposed to enter the lab results. However, the lab person can authorize a higher person, take for example the SSO, to enter the lab result on their behalf. But before an SSO enters the lab result, that authorization via email has to come just for integrity's sake, because as part of lab protocols, if the SSO enters something wrong, you can be held liable that, oh, I'm not the one, but you know, so that's where that email and all those authorizations need to come in. But again, I feel we should just do a session targeting only the labs. This would involve all the network labs. This would involve some of the state labs where we know we want to give them access to enter lab results and be specific to case samples with maybe downloads as the case may be, because their access will not give them rights to enter cases. That's on the part of lab, so it's a request. Then lastly, I think that question around the disease-specific download, I think the whole where you were asked, I think one of the participants asked around why are we not able to select multiple diseases? I think it's also pretty clear. This optimization has been around disease-specific CIFs. So if we are being disease specific, it means we need to just treat everything independently. And I think that the comments around the selection of the period, I also want to appeal. I remember the last download manager, selection of the period is tied to the date of reports. But I think guidance should be given, because now that we have optimized, I know that date of onset is a key variable, so it means it's complete. selection of variables should please be tied to the date of onset, so that we use that to fetch our period when you're looking at the period for the information you want to pull from SORMAS. But by and large, I think these are just my few comments. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Martin, for those comments. I think we have one. I'm not sure there is any response to this. We have one question here from Mary. She's asking if, okay, verbatim, she said, please, where can we report AEFI? It's not on the disease options. Stephen, do you want to respond to that, please?
Okay, so to respond to that, AEFI is reported either weekly or monthly. It's not part of the case-based reporting currently that we have. So if you have AEFI and there are channels to reporting on weekly or monthly reporting, but currently SORMAS does not have AEFI, and work is still going on and discussion is going on it. But the current channels of reporting AEFI is those channels.
Musa, please, I want to just maybe add clarification to what Stephen
Can you
said.
hear me, Mr. Seki?
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
done
Okay,
with
Mr.
that.
Hashim.
I don't know if that answers that person's
Yeah.
question.
We heard you, Stephen, to a large extent, and I think Mr. Hashim wants to add some clarification.
Musa, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead, Mr.
Can
Hashim.
you hear me?
Yes.
Good morning once again. Just maybe to provide a clarification on what Stephen have said. For AEFI, is reported either immediately for serious AEFI, and then for any other one is reported on a monthly basis. We will do something on that because of the dual reporting process. It's supposed to be case-based for the serious one because some of the variables that need to be collected are very key. And I am aware that the state DSNOs or the DSNOs have been involved in some of these serious AFI, while some form has been filled and they've been collected in just the MR that will just be completed. And I think investigation is going on for some of the serious cases where it is being taken care of. So that is a valid concern, Mary. I think Mary has written me a mail on that, and I've not. Unfortunately, I'm in another meeting. I was not able to reply her. So those are the things that we'll look at. But let us know that it is only serious cases that are reported immediately. Any other cases, mild to moderate or low, are reported on the monthly basis. So that is something that we'll look at it and see how we can balance it so that people don't just go and report all cases of AFI on case base or report all on a monthly basis to avoid that confusion. So that is not it. Thank you for that. And also to say that when we are talking of HIV cases, remember we are looking for new cases of HIV. So in the live server, it will be HIV cases in bracket new cases so that people don't just, because we are not doing HIV follow-up or case management for HIV. So what we are looking for new cases of HIV and not just HIV cases, just to give that clarification so that we can also provide that background. So it's good that the slide will be shared with colleagues so that colleagues can also have opportunity to go through them and then step them down to at the state level, especially at the monthly surveillance review meeting that takes place in the state. And based on what Martin has requested, plan has been in place where we are going to involve the lab colleagues in the meeting with the state team and even our SSO, including the NCDC lab team. So we will have a meeting where we will try to resolve some of the issues. That's why we don't want to give an answer here that after that meeting it may not work. So we have to be patient and agree as a team. It is not a one-man squad, it is a teamwork. So we must see how we solve the problem. And if there are concerns based on experience, we all resolve it together, not just to feel that we are taking somebody's work because the person is not doing his work. Our ability is for us to work together as a team and ensure that everybody functions very well. Because in the normal situation, normal things are expected to happen. If it is in a normal situation, we know that the situation is not normal, then the abnormal thing can be accepted as a normal in whatever the case may be. So I want colleagues to be a little bit patient and let us allow the process to go and ensure that the right thing is done with everybody concerned and we agree, so that it will not be that, yes, we are just looking for work and that's why we intend to take some decision even without their consent. So I think by and large, we've been doing so well. The platform for the training has been so peaceful, and I appreciate all your understanding and your patience in trying to space your time despite this tight schedule to be part of this very important meeting. We are so proud of you. And this is our product. It's not meant for the national. Remember, they say SORMAS is user-centric, which means that the users are very key in terms of decision making. We respect every decision and every contribution that has come into this from everybody. So thank you so much. And over to you, dear.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Efe. That sounds like a closing remark. Meanwhile, we still have some few questions here. Although some of them have been answered. This one is asking, is there interoperability and linking to IDSR weekly and monthly report? I think that has been answered, that it eases the state and LGA work. Steven has answered that earlier, that what we have on the platform now is the weekly, I think it was Vivian that answered that, is the weekly report. We also have monthly report, but that is not yet active. So I don't know if, I think we should just jump that. And then there's this particular question, I think it has also been answered. This person is asking why the state level focal persons are not authorized to enter results at the state level. I'm not sure that is the case. The case is actually the state lab focal persons are the ones authorized to do data entry, lab result entry on SORMAS. Steven, do you want to
Musa, let me just say something. That aspect is what we need to have a meeting, because one, we don't have the full detail. We are working with the lab, and we also want to work with the state to agree who is that state lab focal person, and that person will be assigned that right. If there are any other people that need to be given that right, it will be agreed. So the process is that we are collecting the names and we are working, because it is something that the right has to be assigned to the person locking details. So definitely we have not opened it for any other person. And that is one of the things that we are quickly working on. So definitely it will be a process that we all agree. That's why I said, if not for the plan, this thing, we are thinking that the meeting should happen tomorrow, but we want to discuss with the director of laboratory service and even with the state team, where they will also speak to their people, because we want to do this thing in agreement with them, not just for us to do it, because they may say they have their own state lab focal person and the state may say they have different persons. So definitely we need to harmonize those responsibility and agree as a team, so that we will not give it to the wrong person and the right person will not be able to do it. So there will be a situation whereby there may be an enabler where the other person could not do, somebody should be able to do it, but just to have a control so that we can track and adjust, as Martin said, we hold people responsible. Because let me tell you, it's not just saying negative or positive that is the case. If it becomes something very serious, everybody will have to face the reality. And one of the questions that will come up is it your rule, your responsibility to do that? If the answer is no, and you are doing it and it has caused a lot of complication, it may be something very serious and a serious litigation. So we also want to be that everybody is safe and everybody is protected and everybody is doing a rule because he has what it takes to do what that person is doing in that capacity. So thank you so much.
Okay, I think that that clears it. Okay, the person with iPhone, I don't know who that person is. Just understand that that is part of what Mr. Ashi has said. We are going to get clarity on that for all of the states before they are assigned. I think that marks the end of the questions we have on the comment section. And there are no hands up, and we do not have any question from the YouTube engagement. So I will just hand over to Stephen at this point. Thank you to the team on this question and answer session.
Thank you so much, Mr. Seki and the team, the Q&A team, for this extensive Q&A session. So we go to the last thing on the agenda, which is closing remark by Mr. Yashe. Mr. Yashe, you have the floor, sir.
So, well, I think I have said a lot. Thank you, colleagues, for this beautiful opportunity. It is really gladdening my heart that we have reached this milestone, all of us. And on behalf of the DG NCDC, Dr. Idris Jide, I want to congratulate you all for this wonderful success and for being this part of team that is already have great history in the life of SORMAS and surveillance system in as long as electronic surveillance system is concerned. And I will not go by saying thanking our partner, the IAVN, for this very rigorous journey. It has been virtually impossible because a lot has been said that it will not work. But to God we give the glory for making this day possible and for us to be part of this history. And our CDC colleagues, we are so grateful to our developers, the people, everybody that have contributed to this system. We say congratulations and thank you for the perseverance and for staying to this stage. And the good thing about this system is that going live is not good enough. We need to sustain and ensure that the system is working and is giving us the desired report or the desired outcome as we need. So we'll still be counting on you for your support and for your suggestion, for your intervention in whatever capacity that we can make it work. Let me say, if someone is working, it is all of us. It is NCDC that is working. It is the state that is working. It is the LG, it is the facility, and it is Nigeria at large that will take the glory. So on this note, I say thank you. We will communicate the next date for the meeting with the state team, our SLO, the lab folks, on how to resolve the issue of the lab result and who does that. So on this, I say thank you, colleagues, Stephen, and everybody that have been involved in this process, anchoring and ensuring that the slide decks are always there. We are grateful and we say thank you and see you soon. Do have a wonderful day. And our doors is still open. Please feel free to suggest where possible for improvement as we continue to move forward. So on behalf of my director, Dr. Fatima Saleh, my divisional head, Dr. Montari, and the acting HOD, we want to say thank you and do have a wonderful day. Over.
Thank you, sir. Please make sure you fill the attendance sheet before logging out. Thank you, everyone. See you soon.
Thank you, and bye, everyone.